the hills of Caroline, I feel something in the air. A new song is on my mind. The sweet melody I hear was sent from heaven above. The song that I'm singing is of everlasting love. Oh, it's a new day for living life, a new day to get it going. Open the windows of your heart and let His love give you
Welcome to Cooking with Miss O. Let's join Mary Beth Oxendine in the kitchen as she teaches you how to cook Southern style healthy.
Welcome to Cooking with Miss O. Today we're going to do recipes that have to do with being able to set up something quick if you have company over, and healthy things that you can also buy at a shop that I buy at, and just things you can make at home. During the winter, people tend to come over and visit more, and you're in the house and all like that. So these are easy foods for y'all to do like this. I also am doing my first recipe to introduce my new cookbook, I'm sorry, and it's on the healthy desserts. I'm going to do my verse first, and this is the one God gave me this morning, and it's in Ephesians chapter 5. And it's verse 33. However, each one of you also must love his wife as he loves himself, and the wife must respect her husband. That is a wonderful scripture. I have learned that men, if they have the choice between love or respect, they always seem to pick respect. They want the love, but they want the respect more. And women, we want to be loved. And you know, so we are so about that sometimes we don't do the respecting, and they're so much about the respect. So what I used to do with Tom, my husband, and he's in heaven now, I am a widow, but what I used to do was when he'd come home from a Clemson football game and I was home with the kids because it would be a late night game, and his buddies from Easley High School would be with him, and then they had to drive back to Easley. I always invited them in for something, no matter what the hour was. And these are some of the things that I did for them. Not that they were, and I would always have coffee for them too. Now I'm starting with the brownie recipe. This is my family favorite, and I melt 2 sticks of butter. And then while that is melting, we're going to mix up all of this here. I use my fresh ground whole wheat flour. I use white sugar. And I use brown sugar. I do baking powder and sea salt. And then I do the eggs, and the vanilla go in with the butter as soon as that has melted. Don't turn it up too high because it will pop on you and you don't want to get burned. And then I do Hershey's cocoa, which I have sitting back here. And I don't do the dark. Now you might want to, but I don't. I just do the regular. And then I just whisk it. I make sure I chop up these chunks of brown sugar. This is one recipe when I keep all the ingredients in stock all the time, because if somebody stops by after a football game, or friends just stop in, or Marie and Josh and their friends, they wanted to take something somewhere, I can make this in just a minute. And now that I'm by myself, sometimes when I'm watching cute Hallmark movies or movies I've checked out at the library, because I actually don't have TV. I just have a TV that I plug into the wall and watch sweet movies on, and I really love Doris Day. So then I make me a small batch of these brownies. And what's healthy about them is not all the sugar, but the cocoa, the real cocoa, and of course the whole wheat flour. So it doesn't make your blood sugar drop as fast as if you had white flour in here. Now that has melted. We're gonna let it cool just a minute while we finish up with this. And then with those two butters that I do, I always save my butter wrappers, and this is what I use to grease my pans with. I don't use anything else but this or olive oil. So, and I fold up the ones I don't need right then or use. I fold them in half and I stick them in the container in my refrigerator door where you keep your butter. Then when I have something always to grease with. Now I have a little bitty, let's get this out here, a big chunk of powdered sugar there. Try to get as many of them out as you can. And when we're done here, and this really is only like 21 or 22 minutes, and I'm doing it all right here for you. So in about 20 minutes, with a few wonderful glass pieces, kind of like ladies say they have to have their black dress. Well, if you have some real sweet glass pieces, you can set up a party in no time. Or you can just make your sweetheart have a wonderful time with you when you're watching a movie together, or he's watching the ball game, and then you set it up for him. All right, now what we're going to do here with the whisk is we're going to put the vanilla in it. And I don't want this too hot, so I'm going to whisk up these eggs because I don't want the eggs to cook in that hot butter. So it's easier if you whisk them beforehand. I need those for reading, but I don't need them the rest of the time. This is good. When I was growing up, and even now that my daughter's married, we're doing it at her house. We do party things for New Year's Eve. And my mom and dad had started that tradition, so my sisters and I have always kept it up, and now my children are doing it too. And so we have fun making all these different things we've seen in different magazines or from friends that we've tried. And now we're just gonna put all of this in here. It takes only 30 minutes. Set your oven on 350 and take it out right at 30 minutes. Unless your oven runs a little bit hot, you might want to check it at 25. Put it in a cold oven that has not been preheated. That also saves you energy. Let me talk to you a little bit about energy saving that I do. When I was married to an economist, so when I'm at home, like right now, even though it's cold outside, I turned off my furnace before I came here because I was going to be gone a couple of hours. If I'm going to be gone an hour, I shut off my air conditioner or furnace. And you say, oh, but that's not good for it. Well, let me tell you what I do. I also shut off all my lamps. I unplug them, I mean. Everything is unplugged. The TV, the radio, everything except the refrigerator, the stove, the washer and dryer. I don't have a microwave. And I have all those shut off too, and I just plug them in when I'm going to use them at night. And I cut my power bill from about $130 or $140 to $72, no higher than $72 for this past year, all except for December and January and February. Now, it's not been real cold here, and even that has been lower for me. So that's why I use cold ovens when I make my bread and everything. I start out with a cold oven because you waste a lot of energy by doing that with your oven. Now we're gonna stick this in here. I should have gotten me a spatula, y'all, and I did not. I'm gonna set this right in here. I'm going to step over here and get me a spatula. These are the moistest, most wonderful brownies. And we have never given this recipe away, but I asked both my sisters and they were fine with it. You can make a lot of different desserts with these brownies. You can cut them up and use them as trifles. Now, if you're going to use it in a trifle, you need to bake it that morning that you're going to do it so that it has time for them to get a little firmer, because they're real soft and moist when they're first baked and all. And then you can cut them up to small pieces. Now that is ready to go into the oven, and we're going to a commercial break. We'll see you right back. Thank you. Welcome back, y'all. Now this is another, I have two things I'm going to do here with the party thing. I like dips. And at Ingles, you can get those that are really good too, that are organic. But there's a little shop in Seneca, and I live over in the Clemson Central area. I live in Central, but a lot of people don't know Central. So it's one of everybody's favorite shops, and it's called Heartwarmers. And they have healthy snacks so that you can have these up in your pantry and have something to do if somebody stops in. And I always have yogurt, and yogurt, and I always have Daisy sour cream. Both of those are always in my refrigerator. So I get a couple of these, and this is the mock spinach one. Has no MSG, no preservatives. It's wonderful. So first of all, what I'm going to do here is, and if you go in, they have so much of these healthier things without the hydrogenated and all in them. And they're also a cute shop for a lot of other things. And I think they're going to put up on, y'all can see it on the TV here, their phone number, their address. And it's a mother-daughter shop, and they also are decorators and floral people. I go in the summer and get white daisies, because I love white daisies, to put in a vase by my sink. And I go just about every 2 weeks, because daisies last a good while, and get me a couple of stems to do that. And then at Christmas, their Christmas stuff is wonderful. Wonderful gifts. But the two ladies are precious. And the other people that work there too, they also have Vera Bradley, but it's just a fun shop. They also have unusual cookbooks, and I love those. I've gotten me some of those. Now, this said to do it with mayonnaise and sour cream. I do it with sour cream and plain yogurt, but I do Stonyfield, which is organic. You pour the whole packet in. Some of the packets you only use a tablespoon and all, but this one you do the whole. And then I just whisk this together. And then I put it in the refrigerator where I finish everything else, and it firms up a little bit more. Now, we are done with that, and we'll put that in a serving bowl in a minute. Let me come over here and do this. This is my pimento cheese recipe, which is in my cookbook, which I've made a lot. I've chilled it real good. You can even put it in the freezer for a little while. And then I've crushed up the pecans that I have over here that I get from Ingles, because these are from Georgia, and they don't have any BHT on them. They usually put BHT on pecans, and they don't have any on this brand. So that's why I get them at Ingles. I just crushed these. This little gadget is so cute. It costs about $9.99 at Walmart. And it's wonderful. There's a little bit bigger one. And now I'm going to make a mess, because I'm going to use my hands, and I have washed my hands. So here we go. We're going to turn this into a big ball. Okay, this will make, my one recipe will make 2 wonderful pimento cheese balls. Then after you do this, you can also put it in saran wrap and it will stay good and it'll firm up. But the wonderful, it's not like some cheese balls. Have you ever been somewhere where you're trying to cut a little piece off a cheese ball and it's so hard and then it flies off the thing and you're embarrassed? Well, that's all happened to me. So I like this because it's easy to cook, it's easy to do, and pecans and pimento cheese are wonderful. And of course, pimento cheese is my favorite dip. My favorite anything for any time of the day. I try to keep it, people come by the house and say, Mary, I'm gonna come in and see you for a while. You got some pimento cheese? So I always keep it made, or I have all the ingredients. Okay, there we go. Now, I will have to pour out more. I'm just gonna set this one right here. Pour out some more pecans. Take that little thing out and do another ball here. So you have one for a gift and one for a party. Since Tom died, I do a little thing where I ask God to show me who to bless once a week. And I don't do it every week, but I do ask him. And sometimes this is what I just take to him. And with a loaf, small loaf of my bread, I also make little small loaves. Because everybody needs a little something special. And see how easy this is? If you double the batch of the pimento cheese, you'll end up with 4 of these bigger balls, or you can have 6 a little bit smaller balls. And you can give these as gifts at Christmas too. And now that I realize I don't like so much stuff, I give these for birthday presents too. Or a housewarming gift with crackers or with my homemade bread. Now, if you see spots that are like that, then you just push some in there. Now we are done with that too, and I need to wash my hands. So if y'all will just wait right there, we'll be right back. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Welcome back. Now I'm going to show you, we've made all this. The brownies are done, the dip is done, and I'm going to show you what I got at Heartwarmers so you can have a quick little party. I also have these cupcakes that I had already baked earlier, and so they are the silver cake, which is the state cake for Alabama, but I've turned them into cupcakes there. So I have those. So if you have something like that, you can put out. On the brownies, if you have maybe just a few people, you could also put one here, here, and here. But I use this little Pampered Chef thing that has small holes in it. Not Pampered Chef, I'm sorry, this is Tupperware. And then I can sprinkle out my powdered sugar on this. But then I do it on my plate too. It's real small holes, so that just makes it pretty. That way if there's some crumbs from the brownies, it doesn't look bad. And I do it on top of the brownies too. So we've got that finished, and we have our cupcakes here. And I got that little plate right here from Hallmark. They'll do stuff like that. Then we have our plates to serve with. Sorry, y'all. And then I have a dip holder. Now this can do good at Christmas, but it's chevron, so you could use it all year. And this is the spinach dip that I made from Heartwarmers. And this stays good if you want to. You can put ice underneath this right here, and that keeps it cold. So you could do pimento cheese or any kind of dip and have the ice. Make sure your ice is always there if you're out somewhere where it's hot, and keep that going so it'll be safe like that. There. And we're going to put this over here. With this plate, I do organic baby carrots that I get at Ingles. And then on the other side for the dip, I got these at Heartwarmers. They're pretzel sticks, and you can use either of those. I keep all these in my cupboard, different ones of them, and I always have the carrots too because I just like to munch on those. So here we go, right here by the dip. Right there. Now, this is what I do with my pimento cheese ball. I have a cute little snowman knife there, and then I just put a couple around my dinner plate, so you don't even have to have another kind of plate. It's just a dinner plate. All of these things that I've cooked with are all here. I'll set this over here. Now I buy these sea salt nuts, and I just put a little, I get these at Heartwarmers. They're the healthiest peanuts. They're wonderful. And everybody loves them. When I give those for a gift at Christmas, they always love these nuts. And here you go. You've got a whole party set up for people that come over, or for young people after church, or whatever you want to do. And I hope you'll try all these recipes, and if you go to Heartwarmers in Seneca, you will find a lot of this stuff. I'm going to go ahead and try the cheese ball because I love the pecan pimento cheese ball. Now my pimento cheese is sweet tasting. It's wonderful with the pecans. You've got something sweet, you've got vegetables, you've got plenty of protein with the pimento cheese, and you've got a dip and nuts. That's also protein. So I hope you like this. This didn't take very long. Excuse me, this is only a 20-minute show. So anybody could do this. And I really appreciate y'all watching. This recipe will be in the newest cookbook, and you can pre-order that if you want. It should be out in February. Thanks so much, and I really appreciate y'all watching. Have a blessed day. Okay, thank you.